Alright, everybody. So today we are going to be doing something a little different. Today we are going to be doing a little something different. We're going to be doing a walkthrough. So first off, character creation. So if this is like your first playthrough or whatever, I'm just kind of going off the top of my head here. I would honestly recommend going with the knight, just because they have good health, they start out with good stamina, they have a lot of equip load. I think they have the most equip load, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they do. So they have the most equip load, so you can carry the most gear. They have good strength, they have good dex. Of course, there could be ones with better, like the mercenary has better dex, and I think the warrior has better strength. But the knight's right in the middle and can carry a lot more. So for your burial gift, I'd recommend Life Ring, just because the rest of these are either just one-time uses or like consumables, rusted coins, red eye orbs. You can get all this stuff in the game, except for these, the divine and hidden blessings. Those are kind of rare, but it doesn't really matter because you're not really going to need them that much. So the Life Ring, you get to keep forever. It's a free ring to start with. Face presets, you got lots to choose from, or you could just go straight into appearance, build your own. You know how it is. I'm just going to play around a little bit with this, I think. Or maybe I'll just load up a preset. And there we go. So here we are, starting off in the Cemetery of Ash. So we can still light roll. We have 100% physical block shield. So what that means is, when these hollows here hit us, and we block it, we're not going to take any damage at all. The reason we don't take any damage is because this has 100% physical absorption, which means if a weapon only does physical damage, which most weapons do unless they're boss weapons or infused, you're just not going to take any damage at all. And that's the same thing, as you can see under physical, it'll show you all the different attributes that it will absorb. So it'll absorb 51% of magic damage, 46 of fire, 35 of lightning, 44 of dark. and it has 48 stability. And this guy here, he won't aggro. He's just a basic, like, he's basically your backstab tutorial. So if you get right on the back of somebody and hold down your right bumper, which is your regular attack button, if you hold that down on the back of somebody, you'll do a backstab. It does more damage, and it can be changed by where you see attack power. It says critical 100. The higher that number, the more backstab and riposte damage you'll do. As you can see, we've got another hollow over here. He has a crossbow, but he has no other weapon. I think you might be able to bait him into taking out a dagger or something, or another broken sword, but not often will it happen. And my batteries are getting low, so just give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Didn't realize my batteries were so low. So, if you go this way, this is an optional secret area. Not really secret, but it's optional. And what you'll find up here is a giant crystal lizard. Now this guy here, he's quite tough. You won't do a lot of damage to him, and he will do a ton of damage to you. So basically, you just want to hit him a couple times, wait for him to do an attack, walk behind him, hit him a couple more times. Always be blocking with this guy, because as you can see, even through the shield, he's going to do a lot of damage to you. Heal up after he attacks if you get hurt, and just try to stay behind him. It's honestly a better idea to just roll away from his attacks instead of trying to block through them. And eventually, he's going to stagger, which will let you do a riposte, which will give you a lot more damage. There. So now that he's staggered like this, run in front of him, hold down your attack button, kind of glitch through the world because he's in a mountain. But basically you stab him in the gut and you do a lot of damage to him. So just stay calm, conserve stamina, stay behind him, hit him a couple times, block, roll away, and he's dead. Easy as that. So that gave us 4,000 souls. And funny enough, this enemy will actually give us more souls than the tutorial boss. And that's just kind of like, you know, it's there. It'll give you more if you know what you're doing, if you know how to kill it. There you go. Just gives you a good jump start at the beginning. So we're going to come up here. There's going to be our first bonfire. And we're going to get the rest emote. So when we sit down, we're going to get the rest emote. All we can do is leave. We can't teleport, can't do anything, can't change our items and do nothing. So when you rest at a bonfire, all the enemies are going to come back. You're going to get all your Estus back and all the durability, unless your weapon is completely broken, or your armor for that fact. It's all going to come back. So there's a free Titanite shard here. All you have to do is just run and then make the jump. I think the game defaults your jump to a different button, but you can change it right here. Yeah, usually it'll be on the thumbstick. If you click it down, you'll jump. I prefer it on B to jump, but that's just me. So that was a Titanite shard. So we got a Titanite scale for killing the crystal lizard, and we got a Titanite shard for doing that little jump. So all Titanite is used for upgrading or infusing. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. The crystals are for infusing. So, instead of going in there, which is the boss, you'd exit Gundyr. He's your tutorial boss. If you drop down on top of this guy, do a plunging attack with your basic attack. Just kick him, get a riposte on him. He's dead. This right here is a couple fire bombs. And the reason those are there is because the boss, when he goes into second phase, is weak to fire. You don't have to kill all these guys, but I mean, you might as well just for the extra few souls. And there's a problem that I see a lot of new players doing. A lot of new players will just walk around with their shield up constantly. That's not a good idea, because when you get hit, when your shield is up, you lose stamina. And if you lose all your stamina, then you're going to get guard broken, and you're going to get riposted for a lot of damage. So, we're going to take the sword out, and then we have a second to recover where he's going to be getting up. You just want to hit him as many times as you can. Now, I'm going to parry him. Parrying's a bit tricky, so I'm not going to do that the whole time, just to show you guys that you can do it without parrying him and stuff. Basically, just try to block his attacks, roll behind him, same as before. Do a couple attacks, don't get greedy, stay behind him, hit him a few times. There he goes. I actually forgot to put on the firebomb, so put them on your hotbar so you can switch them down here. And look at all that damage we're doing. I know it's kind of hard to see. Just keep your shield up when he jumps. Roll back. Firebomb. Maybe hit him a couple times. Roll behind him. Firebomb. And then throw another firebomb. Oh, I actually missed. That's okay. Hit him a couple times because he has to recover on his jump attack. And he's dead. Just don't panic. Just don't hold your shield up all the time. And you'll be good to go. And then once you beat the boss, if you're not already, you will get embered. So that's pretty simple. It's pretty easy if you get the fire bombs. So as long as you watch your stamina, don't hold your shield up all the time, and use your fire bombs at the right time, you'll have a real easy time with Gundyr. Over here, I think this is a broken sword. Yeah. So that's not really important. That's not really useful. It's not going to be anywhere as good as any weapon that you start out with. These are just basic hollows. Block their attacks. Hit them when they get staggered. This will be a homeward bone. Those are kind of useful. They'll return you to any bonfire or shrine that you last rested at. So now we're going to go up here. And before we go into Firelink Shrine, we're going to veer off to the left over here. We're going to go up these stairs, kill him. For some reason, this guy has a little bit more health than the other one, so make sure you hit him twice. And there's actually, what is this, the east-west shield? Yeah. So that shield's okay. It's not the greatest, 55 physical, but it has more magic resistance and stuff. But if you're the knight, stick with your knight shield for now. Now this guy here, this is the sword master. He's a naked guy with a katana. He has a lot of health, and he hits very, very hard. So basically, get close to him, wait for him to swing, and then you hit him. So, wait for him to swing. Now he's very quick because he's using a katana, so stay away from him best you can. If he does stupid stuff like jump attacks, just backstab him. Hit him with a charged R2 on wake up, or not. I always have trouble with Swordmaster. Once again, just don't panic, just block attack, walk away. So as you can see, he's probably the harder of the bunch to fight. Because he's a bit more unpredictable. At least I find he is. Now don't waste all your stamina, because if you waste it all hitting him, then you can't roll away, and you're not going to be able to recover, and he's going to hit you. So save a little bit, roll away. Let your stamina go back up. And then just R1 mash. Poke him, and he's dead. And then you're going to get a free Uchi-Katana, Master's Attire, and the Master's Gloves. The Uchi-Katana is going to be way better for dex builds at the beginning of the game. As As you can see, it requires 16 dex down at the bottom, which I do not have because I'm a knight. But if you go dex like the cell swords, you'll have enough dex at the beginning of the game to use it. Now, the katana, the Uchi katana, it's not a bad weapon. Preferably, if I was playing, I'd stick with the cell swords just because I find they can do more damage. But, if you want, there's some katanas for you at the beginning of the game. So that was a homeward bone back there, so you get a couple of those. This should be an ember, I think. Yep. And then there's just a dog here. Smack him again. And now we can go into Firelink Shrine. And as you'll see, we almost have 10,000 souls before we've even gotten to the first area. Like, this is our main hub. This is where you're going to do all your leveling. Some of your quests are going to be here. Like this guy here.
Another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you notice me, and it how weird.
So yeah, talk to him. You get a free emote. If you guys want, you'll have to play the game for yourself to read all of his dialogue, so I don't want to sit through all that. I've played this game way too much to re-listen to all that garbage. Oops. So now, we got that coiled sword fragment from killing Gundyr, because he's like the... Basically, he's like, if you're worthy enough, or if you're the chosen undead, you can kill him and get your coiled sword fragment. So now you've got a bonfire, and now you can do all your fun stuff, instead of just leave. So we can travel, which is taking us to High Wall Lothric, which is the only place we can go, aside from going backwards, but we don't want to do that. You can attune spells here. I'm a knight, so I don't start with any, and I don't have very much magic. Well, I call it focus points, but it's magic. You can organize your storage, so if you want, you can just click A, choose how many you want, and you can put them in your storage. Hit your right bumper, and you can switch your tabs. Press Y, you can switch to your storage box. Click A, brings it back. Pretty self-explanatory. Really, you're not going to use the box for much unless you're, you know, wanting to get rid of like stuff like the broken sword. So you just slap that in there. You could sell it, but it's only worth like 50 souls, so it's kind of pointless. Now, burning undead bone shards, we'll get those later, but those are basically just going to make your Estus flask heal you more. So right now it's just an Estus flask. But every time you burn a bone shard, it'll give you a +1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10. Here's the old hag. Never kill the old hag. She will respawn, but when she respawns, all of her stuff is going to be sold for twice as much. So what you want to do, if you want to play online with people, I'd recommend buying the White Sign Soapstone so you can play with your friends. The Dried Finger so you can get more phantoms, but when you use these, they also let you get invaded more. This is the tower key, costs 20,000, but it lets you go up to the very top at Firelink. But I'm going to show you another way to get around a little bit of it. So there's basic spells like Soul Arrow, Iron Dart, Heal Aid, Dagger, you know, a bunch of basic stuff. And then you can go through different tabs and see things more organized. So basically, she's like your little general store. You can bring her ashes from throughout the world. You'll be able to find, you know, different ones, different places. Some of them are hidden, some of them aren't. And she'll sell more items. This is Andre. He upgrades your weapons in your Estus. So if you talk to him, and then talk to him again, you'll get an emote. So he can reinforce them if you have Estus shards, but we don't have any right now. Now you can allot your Estus, which basically means you can choose how many blue and how many regular Estus you have. I'm going to put all of them into regular because I'm not going to be using magic very much. You can repair stuff here. None of our stuff's fully broken. You can infuse things. So to start, you get refined, raw, and fire. We don't have any of these. You can start out with the fire gem. Like I said, it's a one-time use, and it'll just make a weapon fire. It's not the greatest. I wouldn't recommend that. Refined is good, but it's when you're dex and strength. So, see how it makes it from a DD to a CC scaling? It basically just makes it so that if you have more, like even dex and strength, you'll do more damage. Raw takes away all of your attribute bonuses, so instead of being DD, it just has nothing at all. And it all goes into physical with no scaling. So we're doing 110 plus 14, which is 124. But if you made it raw, you'd be doing 136. And if you want to reinforce your weapons, this is how you do it. Just levels up your weapons up to plus 10. Special weapons and boss weapons, I think, can only go up to plus 5. Same with shields, and bows, and chimes, talismans, and whatnot. I wouldn't recommend leveling up your shield at the very beginning. I'd focus on leveling up your weapon, just because really all leveling up your shield does is gives it more stability, which really, you don't really need that right away. But you do want to do more damage as soon as possible.
Be careful, I go.
So, we have 1 Titanite shard right now, and we need 2 to make our weapon plus 1. So we're going to go get a bunch more. But first, before we actually start the level, what we're going to do, we're going to go up here, and then we're going to hang a left, and we're going to go up here. Sometimes there'll be a fog wall blocking this off. You just have to, I just run into the wall until it goes away. So this here, if you get invaded and kill invaders and stuff, this guy here will drop Seed of the Tree Giants. Basically, that makes it so, I think it's like a minute and a half or something, that enemies in your world will be hostile to invaders. So I picked up a soul there, and we can't go up here because we need that $20,000 key. But that's, that's kind of tedious. We don't want to spend all our souls on that right now. And there's a ladder here, so that when you do go up there, pick it down, and you can get up on the roof. But there's a trick. If you run up this tree, hang a right really quick, and jump, you can actually, hook your foot on the ledge. It's really tricky to do. I'm not very good at it, as you can see. But if you have the patience, and you don't want to just get on with things, I would recommend doing this because you can get an Estus shard up here. And I mean, having an extra Estus on your hands, that's going to be pretty useful at the beginning of the game. Oh, that was close. Oh, it's so close. It's very, very tricky to do. I've never been good at making these tricky jumps. So hopefully you'll get a little bit luckier than me and you'll get this sooner. Or you'll just jump straight off the edge like that. Come on. Oops. Trust me, I know this looks very tedious and boring, but you'll want to do it for the goodies you can get. Alright. Maybe if I'm a little bit lighter, it'll help. I'm sure it won't matter, but it seems like we're getting a little higher up there. Ooh. Come on. Oh, that was really close. There we go. So like I said, it'll take you a few tries to get up here, but it's worth it. So there's 3 more free homeward bones. So now we have 5. Now we have 5. You won't be using a lot of them, but if you really need to, they're there. So now, just don't fall off. So this is Pickle Pea Pumperum. It's basically, you can drop him stuff, and he'll give you stuff, if he likes it. So I dropped him a homeward bone, and the first time you drop him anything, he'll give you call over. And if you drop him a homeward bone, he gives you the iron bracelets, which is part of Soul Heir's set. Oops. He doesn't want an ember. I don't remember what else he likes, but we don't have anything else right now for him, I don't think. If you give... so at the beginning, when you have your Divine Blessing and your Hidden Blessing, if you choose either of those, he'll give you a carving, which I think will... I think those give you... Yeah, they give you the carvings, which basically you drop them on the ground. Like, they're infinite, but you, like, throw it on the ground, and then it gives you... like a little message. It'll be like hello or thank you and stuff like that. You know, just funny stuff. So yeah, as you can see, if you hit these walls, they're actually illusionary walls. They're not actually there. So you walk through here, don't drop down just yet, go all the way to the end, then drop down. And this chest here has a ring in it. Virtuous silver serpent ring. Pop that on, and now you're going to get more souls from killing things, which is very nice at the beginning of the game. So, what you want to do, we want to go back to Andre, and we want to say, hey Andre, reinforce my Estus. And then you give him the shard, and he gives you another Estus. And now we have 5.
Pretty, be careful. I don't.
Now, we're going to eat this. Sit down real quick to get all our stuff back, 'cause it's kind of bugging me. And we're going to talk to her. So this is the Firekeeper. You can talk to her about lore stuff, whatever, doesn't matter. Or if you want, you can level up, because that's what she's here for. So now we almost have 10,000 souls at the beginning of the game, which is very, very good, because as you can see, we only need 811 to level up. Personally, I would recommend going with Endurance and Health at the beginning of the game. Just because your strength or your dex, whatever you're going for, it's not going to be just astronomical at the beginning of the game. So it's better to be able to dodge, roll, block, and just have more health in general at the beginning. But that's just my personal opinion. If you're a strength build, put some into strength. If you're dex, put some into dex. If you're quality, put a bit into both. If you're magic, into intelligence and attunement. And if you're faith, put some into faith and attunement. Attunement, as you can see, gives you a little bit more mana, and see if I can do it here. So, yeah. So once you get to level 14 attunement, you'll get another attunement slot, so you can have more spells. But that's really only for casters and stuff. Or for late game, once you've made your character with like 40 endurance, 40 vigor, and like 40 strength or dex, then you can start putting into like intelligence and stuff, so you can, you know, start experimenting a bit. Luck, personally, I never put into luck. It's for like bleed and poison and stuff, but really, that's not going to help you a whole lot. And I think it also boosts your item discovery, stuff like that. But really, you want to focus on everything else. And vitality is just your carry weight. But if you're starting out as the knight like I did, you're not going to need much of that to begin with, because you can still carry all your armor, your shield, and your weapon. And that's really all you need right now. You don't really need much more. So, we are going to travel to High Wall Lothric, and we're going to continue. I'm going to go to the washroom while it's loading, so I'll be right back. Sorry about that, and we're back. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we're going to go right out here, open up these big bad doors. Here we are, opening up to the world of Dark Souls. High Wall Lothric. So this is just the high wall outside of Lothric Castle, as you can see in the distance there. We'll get there eventually, don't worry. And here's our first bonfire. Light that bad boy. So then when we die, we can come back here. So if you want to go this way, which I don't recommend just yet, make sure you kill this guy first. Because he has a crossbow and he'll just shoot you. And he just becomes very, very annoying. So, I'm just going to rest here, just to reset everything. Well, reset the one hollow. So this is the way that you want to go first, a little bit. So, there's going to be a guy right there who's going to attack you. But run past him. Don't worry about him right now. What you want to do is kill this guy. As you can see, he's starting to scream. But if he finishes his scream, then all these guys that are stationary are going to wake up and come after you. And it's going to be very annoying. So kill those few guys. Come back up here. Right here, you can get a free soul. You know, you don't have to worry about these guys. They're just scared of you. Just don't worry about them. So there's another screamer over there. You always want to kill them first. Do a running attack to, you know, interrupt his scream. Because he would have woken up all three of these guys. And they actually have weapons. This one here actually has a shield. As you can see. Ouch. Want to get rid of him. So yeah. You can try parrying on these guys. I find they're very difficult to parry. Some people might not. But, you know, there's better things to practice parrying on. So this guy, you can see his sword. He's going to run down the stairs once you get close enough. He's either going to run off the edge like that, or he'll just charge you. The only reason we're coming up here is to get our binoculars. Not important, but if you ever want to look at something pretty in the world, it's always good to have them. I like to put them right here. So if you want to put anything on your quick bar here, you just click Y, and then you click A on whatever you want to put there. And you can press X to remove it. Simple. Because I like to do this, and then I can get my binoculars really quick. You can look around. If you press forward on your D-pad, you can zoom in. Back on the D-pad, look out. You can just click the binoculars again to get out of them, or you can roll or swing your weapon or do whatever. Pretty much anything will cancel it. Oh, we got another longsword. That's kind of cool. So instead of going back the way we came, we're going to go here. Don't fall off the world. Just walk slowly. Drop here. In here, we're going to get 2 gold pine resins. So what gold pine resins do, basically, if you use it, it's just going to put lightning damage on your weapon. I think it's for like a minute or a minute and a half or something. So that's what we wanted there, is those 2 fire bombs. Wait for him to swing and then just beat him up. Because after he swings, he's going to go into a little bit of a, like a staggered animation, because he swings and he falls a little bit and you just hit him a bunch of times. Easy to kill. So, we're going to put these fire bombs on. We're going to go this way again now that we have the fire bombs. Kill this guy. You can just roll here. You won't take much fall damage. You want to get rid of the dogs as quick as you can. Dogs are very annoying to fight and very quick. Hate fighting the dogs. If you want, you can walk down here. There's a couple of enemies. You can jump. Sorry, you can jump. Plunge him, he's dead. Big guy's gonna come. He's slow. Block, walk behind him, backstab. Charge up an R2, hit him on wake up. Give him a couple R1, then he's dead. Free soul. Now we can come back up here. This guy with the halberd, he's wandered his way down by now. Parry him if you want, or you just beat him up same way as the other guys. If you don't want to parry him, just block, block. Walk behind him, backstab him. Easy. That's just an easy way of killing them. I find that guy with the halberd I find him kind of easy to parry, and he's just kind of, you know, he's not too threatening, so if you ever want to try parrying. Oh, hey, Vagonzo. Speak of the devil. Vagonzo's the one that inspired me to do this, the playthrough to show everybody where everything is. So basically, you're going to kill the guy with the bow and arrow, wait for this guy to fully transform and start walking, Throw a firebomb at him. Hit him 3 times. Roll away. Oh, I got hit. That's okay though. Don't panic. Get behind him. Another firebomb. Walk through that. Heal up because this guy's very strong. He'll do a lot of damage to you. Get a bit closer to him. Wait for him to charge at you. And then block it, block it. Usually his 4th hit won't hurt you because of the weird, like, you know, hitbox on this guy. Just hit him a few times and he's dead. And now we have an Ember. That was just a rare drop, actually, I think. And now, yeah, it was, because you're supposed to get an Ember and a Titanite Shard guaranteed for killing that guy, which is very useful, because if you picked up the first Titanite Shard at the beginning, you should have 2 now. There's also a longbow, a couple arrows, if you want to try that out. So now, we have 2 Titanite Shards, which means we can go make our weapon +1 very early on in the game. And I think the reason they put those firebombs at the other way was really to kill that guy a little bit easier, so you can get your other Titanite Shard and go make your weapon a bit better. So we're going to go do that. So remember, resting at bonfires resets everything. We're going to go back to Firelink. I'll take a sip of my drink. Alright, now we're back at Firelink, so we're going to go want to talk to Andre again. And make sure you have souls when you're doing this, because it does cost a little bit, it doesn't cost a lot. It costs 222, which is really not that much. So we have 2 Titanite Shards and it costs 2. We're going to go from 110 plus 14 to 121 to plus 17. So now, our longsword is a longsword +1. We're going to do a little bit more damage. And it's going to be a little bit easier to kill everything, which is really nice. So we're going to go back to High Wall. And now, we don't have any reason to go back that way to the Tar Monster. I don't believe killing him again will drop more Titanite Shards. And I do believe that if you kill him, you have a very small chance of getting a Dark Gem, which infuses your weapon with Dark, obviously. It's not very good to you right now, but later on, it could be pretty good. Depends on your build, depends if you're going to do low-level invasions. But that's complicated stuff that we won't get into. So for right now, once we load in, we're going to go this way again. And remember, we're not going to kill this guy, even if he does charge at us. We're not going to worry about him, because we want to kill this guy, so he doesn't wake up everybody with his screams. Kill these guys. You might as well just kill them all. So remember, let this guy attack once, and then you can just R1 spam till he's dead. You can either go down the ladder, or you can roll. You land on this little ledge, roll again, no fall damage. Free soul here. And then we're going to go this way. So this guy here, he's easy. Just block him, go behind him, hit him a few times, dead. I wouldn't worry about this guy, because what he's going to do, he's going to run that way, and he's going to make you chase him. You don't want to chase him, because when you go up here, you're going to aggro that dragon. The dragon is going to roast everything alive. We're going to open this, let him kill all those guys, or most of them at least. These guys are nothing. Just beat them down. Broken straight sword. Now that all this is gone, we are going to make a run for it. So we rolled through the initial fire blast, which hurts a lot more than this little tick damage on the floor. So we want this here, which is a claymore, a very, very good weapon at the beginning of the game. And then just roll off here. You're going to take some fall damage, but it's worth it over getting hit by the fire. So heal up, go back up, just try to roll through this the best you can. Free club. Ooh, see, I didn't roll it right that time, so I got hit by the fire. Grab the ember. Roll, 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 roll. And then you're good to go. That's a bunch of free items there. A bunch of free goodies. If you're a knight like me, you're going to want to get your stats up so you can use the claymore. Claymore is very, very good. As you can see, it needs 16 strength and 13 dex, and then when you start out as a knight, you have 13 strength and 12 dex, so we need one more level in dex and 3 more levels in strength. You might as well, just because Claymore is very, very good, but for now, I'm going to stick with the longsword just because it's versatile, and longswords are pretty OP, and you're good to stick with them for now. So this isn't actually a chest. It'll still say open, but this is actually a mimic. The way you can tell is by the chain on the side. So you can see how the chain's pointing forward. That's how you know it's a mimic. But if the chain's curled up and it's not pointing forward, then you're fine. You can open it. So since we know this is a mimic, we're going to use one of the gold pine resins we picked up earlier. And we have our +1 weapon. And we're just going to beat the crap out of this guy best we can. Now mimics are incredibly strong. That grab attack, you don't want to get hit by that. If you do, you're dead. Even his basic swings are going to do a boatload of damage to you. So try to stay behind him. Just hit him once, walk behind him, hit him again. He's dead. A lot of the enemies like this can be cheesed if you just walk behind them and hit them. Just like their AI is not the greatest. But if you kill him, you get a neat little weapon called the Deep Battle Axe. Now it's just a regular battle axe. You know, standard battle axe. Two-handed, you got your stomp, you do more damage. But it's deep. What does that mean? Deep means it does dark damage. But what's the difference between deep and dark? Deep, it gives you dark damage on your weapon, which is good. You get more, magic damage as well as your physical damage. But where you see the attribute bonuses, there's nothing. Whereas with our longsword, we have DD, Claymore, we have DD, EC, stuff like that. But with the deep, what deep does, it gives you dark damage, but it takes away all your scaling. So, that's a good one if you want to start off with a, strength-based class. Then you might as well pick up that if you can kill the mimic. It's worth it. You also have a very rare chance of getting what's called the symbol of avarice from mimics. It's basically just a mimic that you can put on your head, and it just boosts your item discovery and your soul absorption, but you take 10 damage a second. These guys are easy, just kill them. This guy's a bit harder. This is a Lothric Knight. Just parry him, or, like I said, if you're not comfortable with parrying, just walk behind him, hit him, block, roll if he ever two-hands his weapon, because then he's going to start doing fancy weapon arts, and those hurt a lot. So just try to stay behind them. He actually dropped something. Oh, a knight's crossbow. That's a very lucky drop. That's really, really nice because, yeah, we can use that. But unfortunately, now we're fat rolling. So what causes a fat roll is basically, if I have this not equipped, just my sword, my shield, my armor, you can see up top in the bottom, in the top right where it says weight ratio. I'm at 63.6%. If that goes to 70 or above, you'll fat roll. So I equip this and I'm at 70.5, which means I'm fat rolling. I take it off, I'm under 70, I'm light rolling. So what I could do right now is I could equip something like the iron bracelets that we got earlier. And then if I equip the night bow, I'm only at 69.5, so I can light roll now. But honestly, fashion souls over everything. So I'm going to put the knight gauntlets back on. I'm going to take the crossbow off. Take those arrows off, because we don't even have crossbow bolts right now, so there's no point in using it. So there's going to be a thief right there. He's going to jump out. He always does for some reason. Just backstab him. Easy. And earlier, when we killed that tar monster, if you don't think you can do it with the 2 fire bombs, there's 3 more right there, so that's 5. Oh, he actually drops on. Probably just throwing knives. Yeah. So we're going to go up here instead of going down. And here's your next bonfire. I'm going to go rest here. I'm going to do something really quick and I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. And we're back. So, from this bonfire, if you walk over here, past these little staircases, you'll get another Titanite shard. So that's just kind of a secret Titanite shard, just more for leveling up your weapons, of course, or shields, but as I said, I'd recommend holding off on leveling up your shields. So the knight, let him walk away. That guy over there won't follow you if you drop right here, but these two are down here. Easy to kill. They don't have much health, they're just quick. Don't let them gang up on you. A raw gem. Okay, so raw gem, that's actually something that we're going to use, because as you can see right now, we have DD scaling, which means we get a D scaling in strength and a D scaling in dex. The longsword's pretty versatile, it's quality, it's 10-10 DD. But if we make it raw, oh, that's not even the right weapon. Oops, there we go. So if we make it raw, as you can see, since we upgraded it, we now have C and D, so we scale better with strength with it now. Excuse me. But if we made it raw, it would take those away and would just do a lot more damage at the beginning. Which is good, because really, you're not going to do a lot of damage at the beginning. So yeah, if you want to drop down that hole, try to face so you're facing him, plunge him, and then just R1 spam, because he's not going to have enough time to recover. So, as you can see, there's a dude standing there. You can see his little head, a couple pixels poking out every now and then. He is going to throw fire bombs, and those barrels right in front of us are explosive. So just run, hold B, sprint past him. So he's going to throw them at you, but he missed. It's fine. Just kill him, break all these, a couple throwing knives here. Throwing knives aren't really important, they don't do a ton of damage, they're basically just for PvP later on. Come up to this guy, backstab him because he's standing up against the wall for some reason. Right here you can get the Mail Breaker. Not a great weapon, but it's better than nothing if you're a mage, kind of thing. Mage just starts with a dagger. So that's Grey Rat, but it's locked right now. So we gotta go get the key for him, which we're gonna do in a little bit here. So what Grey Rat is, he's one of your merchants that you can bring back to Firelink. But he's kind of unique, because he's a thief. So as you go through the game, he'll be able to go and, you know, he'll plunder and pillage and go explore new places when you get to certain areas. And then if you do the quest lines and like keep him alive, he'll bring back new items and really cool gear and stuff that you can buy. So if you hang right here, there's another soul. So as soon as you come out this door, instead of going up the stairs, hang right, grab that. Some souls are better than none. There's a guy hanging here, hit him off. He's gonna fall, block him, backstab him. Done deal. Did he drop something? Oh, that's very, very rare. We got a free Titanite shard off killing this enemy. So, I think some of these ones with like the armor, the sword and shield, those kind of ones can drop Titanite shards at a very low chance. So, yeah. You don't have to kill those two guys praying. So, you'll see a bunch more of them up here. Now, there's going to be another one of these tar monsters. So, we've got 3 fire bombs. Let him transform. Same deal. Chuck a firebomb at him. Oh, I didn't wait long enough. You gotta wait for him to come out of his animation. Basically, give him a couple seconds. Roll behind him. Throw another firebomb. Roll away. Do a... Ooh. Oh, he hit me. Keep rolling. Do a roll poke. Miss. Roll poke. There we go. And then he's dead too. And that's another ember. Oh, another ember. And an ember and a Titanite shard. So that's actually lucky. We got lucky both times and got 2 embers off both of them. So now we actually have 7, which is pretty good. So right down there, you see that little crystal lizard. Run. He can't jump off the edge, so don't worry. Hit him so he doesn't crawl through the ground. So he drops a raw gem. And then there's another soul there. We're going to drop down here. Hold down B and hold down, and you can slide down ladders. Kill this guy because he's annoying. Walk out of the way of that because it's easy. Knock him back off. Kill him. Kill him. And there you go. A few more fire bombs. Fire bombs are always useful. So now we've got 2 ways to go. If you're risky, you can drop onto that little ledge there, and then you can drop straight down, fight that big guy, and it basically just skips a lot of the level, but we're not going to do that. We are going to grab these black fire bombs, though. Essentially, these are just upgraded versions of regular fire bombs. I must not have killed this guy. Oh no, he fell and survived, I guess. That's funny. But anyways, black fire bombs are just better fire bombs. Go in here, kill Mr. Screamy so he doesn't wake everybody up. Kill this guy sitting down. 2 undead hunter charms. So, undead hunter charms, basically, they're throwable items like fire bombs. If you throw them at another player or an enemy, they cannot use Estus. Really, they're just for PvP, because really not a lot of enemies are going to use Estus. So here, another Titanite shard. Oh, this guy comes up. Forgot about him, actually. So now we have 4 Titanite shards, which is enough to level up a weapon to +2. So this is a Lothric Knight. They're a bit more difficult to deal with. Basically, oh, I rolled way too soon. Get him aggroed on you. Get him to attack. Backstab him, because he's going to go into those jabbing sprees. Those little sprees of jabbing. So what you just saw me do there was a guard break. The straight sword, one of its abilities, is a guard break. Oh, another very lucky drop of a Titanite shard. That's very, very lucky. So, if you're two-handing a weapon, if it doesn't have an immediate weapon art, it has a stance. So you can walk around like this. Now if you do a light attack, which is your right bumper, you do an uppercut. If somebody's blocking with anything that's not like a great shield with a lot of stability, that'll guard break them. They'll go into a little stunned animation, and if you do R1 right in front of them, you'll take a riposte, which does a lot of damage. So if you do it again, but hit your heavy attack, your right trigger, you'll run forward a bit and go up. Does the same thing. It doesn't have as much guard break potential, but it covers a bit more ground, gives you hyper armor, which means you can get hit and you won't get like knocked out of the animation as easily. Oops. And you'll do good damage. So come in here. There's a broadsword. Broadsword is very good if you're like me in being a strength build, because the broadsword scales already with a C at like level 1, not upgraded. And with a longsword, it has a D and then a C once you upgrade it. But the longsword has a poke, and with the broadsword, instead of a poke, it has this little run attack, which I'm not a huge fan of. But if you're trying to mid-max for a strength build, you might as well use the broadsword once you get it. So this is a little secret area. I should have actually explained this a bit better. So let's go back a little bit. So when you first come in, you're coming in this way. Not a lot of people notice this because this whole hallway is just packed with clutter, so it just looks like part of the wall. And they go this way, kill him, get your broadsword, and then they go down into the room down there. But if you come in here, break all this clutter, like I did, come over here, get your couple green blossoms, then it looks like, oh, that's it. But if you roll through all this, jump down, there's a secret chest and a secret sword. So this is the Astora Straight Sword. The sword's not bad at all. It does scale a little bit with faith, so you need 12 faith to be able to wield it properly, but it does good damage. So if you're a cleric or something, or like somebody who wants to use miracles, I'd recommend grabbing that, just because it's a little bit better. So what we're gonna do, chuck a firebomb at those barrels. I'm hoping the dog was a little closer, but he wasn't. I didn't pick up the Luring Skulls earlier, so that kind of sucks. So, sorry, I was just reading my phone there. Jump down. Get away from the dog, because they're very annoying. And the big guy there, too. You don't want to get hit by him. So what we're going to do, kill Doggo, roll away from him. We're going to get Big Bye. See, slow. Block, walk behind him, backstab. Charge an R2, hit him with that. R1, dead. Easy. Come in here, there's a chest. Kill this guy so he doesn't wake up and hurt you. This should be the Silver Eagle Shield, I think. Silver Eagle Kite Shield. So that, basically, it's another very good shield. So the Knight Shield you start with as a Knight has a parry. And it can also block, of course, because it's a shield. But with the Silver Eagle Kite Shield, It also has 100% physical, but why would you use this over the other one? Because this one is a weapon art shield. So instead of a parry, when you hit your left trigger, you're going to go into your weapon art or your weapon art stance like I am now with my straight sword. Personally, I'd rather have a parry shield. That's just how I like to play. It's just my style. I'm not much for going right into the weapon arts. That's just not how I like to play. But if it's how you like to play, then power to you. So at this point, you should have 3 Titanite shards, but we right now have 5. And that item that I'm going to show you in a... Oh, I timed that wrong. Just get away from him because he does a lot of damage. Just don't panic. He's not hard to kill. So this, another Titanite shard. So that would have been your 4th Titanite shard that we picked up from the level and not from random drops from mobs. And that would have got your level 2 weapon. But we just got very lucky and got a bunch of extra ones. Oh, he's dead. Okay. Here we go. Oh, and as you just saw, that was very rare as well. We got an extra Estus back from killing that hollow. And we also just picked up an Estus shard, so now we can have 6 Estus. This key here, the cell key, is what you're going to want when you go back and free Grey Rat from his little jail cell. So now, we're on the other side. Just break all these, roll through them, break them, whatever. So up there is where we got those black fire bombs, and then you could have just dropped down there and dropped down again. Oh, he sees us. Oh, no, he doesn't. So basically, you could have skipped all that, but you don't want to, because you want to get your Titanite shard, and you want to get your Estus shard. So what you want to do, you want to drop down here, but as you can see, he's sitting there. So walk off, do a plunge, kill him, grab your rapier. Rapier's not a great weapon, but I mean, once again, if you're a mage or something, I don't think the rapier needs a lot of stats to be able to, you know, be wielded. Basically, this is a winged knight. He's a late game enemy, but they put one here as kind of like a mini boss. He's pretty slow until he starts attacking, or doing that. So just roll away from him when he's doing his big spinny spin, because that's very annoying. Run behind him, backstab him, because he has a long window of recovery. Charge up an R2, and he's dead. So basically, once you've played the game enough times, you'll learn what the enemies do, and it's just very, very easy to kill them. So as you saw there, I also picked up 2 more embers, so now we have 9 embers, which is great. Lots of embers. So, kill this guy. I was going to say, and then roll away, but I wasn't fast enough. I'm getting beat up a little here. You have iframes when you're backstabbing. And iframes just basically means invincibility frames. You can't get hurt when you're riposting, backstabbing, pulling levers, opening doors, things like that. You'll get iframes. So come up here, get a free soul. And like I said, you're going to need to do a jump here. So if you want, change your jump to B, or you can leave it as the thumbstick, like clicking down on the thumbstick to jump, which I think is the default. But like I said, I prefer it on B because I hold down B to run, I double tap to jump. And right here is a Ring of Sacrifice. Don't put this ring on just yet. What the Ring of Sacrifice does, it's pretty self-explanatory. Lose nothing upon death, but the ring breaks. So basically, if you die when you're wearing that ring, you won't lose any of your souls. So I have 5,794 souls right now. If I put on the Ring of Protection and then like jumped off a cliff, died, I'd lose my Ember, which means I'd have to use another Ember and get my max health back, but I wouldn't lose any of my souls. So if you come here, get a few more of those green blossoms, kill this guy, kill him quick because these guys are all going to come up. I mean, they're easy to kill, but they're annoying when they all get on you. And really, anything in Dark Souls can kill you if you don't know what you're doing. So, step on this elevator. It's going to take you up to the tippy top. We're going to eat some souls while we're on here, just because we have a second. Oops. Eat a couple more souls. Get some more. There we go, another 1,200. A few more throwing knives. We have 19 throwing knives now, which is pretty good. Open this up. And this is basically just a shortcut. Walk over here because he's going to aggro on you right away. Roll behind him. Backstab him because he has a long recovery time. Charge up an R2. Hit him with an R1. And then there's this guy. Easy. So now we're back at the very beginning of the level. So up here, the 2 dogs are going to be here. And unfortunately, the archer's alive again. So those 2 didn't aggro on us, which is good. So we're just going to run away. Just gonna go back this way. Archer's up there trying to kill us. That's fine. He's easy to kill. Oh, he must have fell down. Oh, yeah, he did. That's fine. Don't even need to worry about killing him. There's no point. It's just annoying. So now, before we go fight the boss, which is the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go back to Firelink. If you're wondering what these little symbols are, because as you can see, they're not on these ones, the high wall Lothric and the tower on the wall both have 3 embers. That's what those are. Those little ember, like, I don't know, symbols, whatever. But the more of those there are, the more likelihood of you getting invaded if you use the dried finger, or the more likelihood that there's going to be other players in the area. So for people like me who like to invade, you want to look for these so you can invade more people more frequently. But anyways, we don't need to think about invading right now. That's fine. So we're going to go back to Firelink, and we're going to level up. We're going to level up our weapon to +2 at the very beginning of the game, which is very good, because, I mean, we haven't even beat the first quote-unquote real boss, because the tutorial boss, I don't technically count him as a boss. So what we're going to do, we're going to come over here, we're going to talk to the Firekeeper, level up. And like I said, try to get your endurance and your vigor as high as you can at the very beginning, because your endurance is how much you can swing, block, roll, run, all that fun stuff. Health is health. It never hurts to have too much health. So I think I'm not going to put more into health right now. I'm going to put more into stamina, and I'm going to put one more into vitality so we can use that crossbow. Just because why not? So now I think we should be able, yeah, so now we can use the crossbow and not be fat rolling, because before, like, I'll just put this on, we would fat roll when we had the crossbow on because we were 70.5, sorry. But now we're at 69.3. Sorry, I can't talk all of a sudden. So yeah, to reiterate, in the top right there it says weight ratio. We are at 69.3. That's with all of our gear on. Even your rings have weight to them. So remember that. But this stuff down here has no weight to it, so don't worry about any of that. But all this stuff, as long as you're under 70%, you can light roll. And like I just showed you, if you go over, so now we equipped it a mail breaker as well, we're at 72%. We're going to fat roll. You don't want to be fat rolling because it's just hard to get away from things. Your timing's all off. So just try to make sure you're under 70% so you can light roll. So what we're going to do now, talk to Andre again, find our +1 sword, and we're going to make it +2. So now we do even more damage. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go to infuse. We're going to take the long sword, and this is the raw. So, right now, we're doing 132 plus 19. So what's that? 140, 152. But if we make it raw, we get rid of the plus, like the plus 19, and it'll just go all into physical, and it'll have no more scaling. So we're going to do that because we have 177 opposed to the 150. It's a little bit more. It's not much, but it's better at the beginning. So now we have a raw +2 longsword. Just because we're focused on leveling up our endurance and vigor, and not our strength and dex. So now, we're going to go talk to Leonard up here. Not going to talk to the Fallen Knight again, we don't need to right now. So this guy, he's a bad guy basically. So he gives you 5 cracked red eye orbs. Now this is kind of a side quest, you don't need to do this. But if you do want to finish his whole entire quest line, you'll get a very, very good magic-based weapon. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the high wall Lothric. And what we're going to do is we're going to go free Grey Rat. Just so we don't forget, because I have a really bad habit of freeing Grey Rat. Or not freeing him, rather. So now we're going to be able to just blow through these enemies no problem, because we have +2 weapon, and it's raw, so we don't have to worry about scaling, because we don't have to worry about putting into strength and dex stats right now, wasting our levels at the beginning. So let's see how much more damage we do. Oh yeah, we can one-shot them now. See, that's way better. Instead of 2, we're just one-shotting them. which is obviously way better. These guys we're not going to one-shot just because they have more health and armor. But like little guys like this, no problem. Should have gone to the other bonfire, but whatever, we're already here, so. You could have just made this easier on yourself and just went to the tower on the wall bonfire, but we're just going to run. We're not going to care about the dragon. We're going to risk it all. Yeah, we made it. We're fine. Woo! Ooh, that fire. But, see, we put a bunch of stuff into health at the beginning, so now we are able to survive that with, like, half health. And that's what I'm saying, right? Like, you want to... Oh, so, see how I didn't one-shot him before, and I did that time? That was because I hit him with what's called a counterattack. So let's see if I can do it again. So it's kind of tricky to do. So if you get like bounced off a shield, if you get parried and stuff like that, you're in a vulnerable state. So you're going to take more damage, and it's just called counter damage. You know, simple. But yeah, that's why we one-shot him that time and didn't before. We can almost one-shot a knight with a parry, so that's pretty good. Boop. Boop. And drop something good. You can farm these knights here, and you can get their shield, their sword, all their armor set. But that's kind of tedious, and I don't want to do that right now. But I think what I'll do is I'll actually go... Once again, he's just going to jump, backstab. He'll do it every time. Or at least like 90% of the time he'll do it. Unless you come from this angle, but anyways. I'm going to rest up here just in case anything goes wrong. I don't suspect it will, but... This will give us another chance to kill that knight too. We don't have any coins, because coins will basically make your item discovery way better. So once again, if you're not comfortable with parrying these guys, just stay behind them. Just keep beating them up. Try to stay behind them best you can. And if you're a knight, just block them, counter hit them. Easy. But like I said, I see a lot of new players walking around constantly like this with their shield up just all the time, all the time, all the time. That's not a good habit to get into, because as you can see, he may not be doing a lot, but he is doing damage to my stamina. If that was another player and they saw you holding your shield up all the time, they're going to know you're new, and they're going to be relentless. They're just going to beat on your shield till you get guard broke, and then you're just going to get punished. Oh, and see that there? That was a whiff. I parried. I missed the parry, but I only took a little bit of damage. So that's basically when you do the parry, he hits your shield, but you were like just off by a second. Because it's hard to get the timing down on all that. Let's kill all these fools again. And we're going to go down here. And now that we have the cell key that we got earlier, we can open this up. Grey Rat's going to thank us, he's going to give us a ring, and he's going to go back to Firelink. Grant him his request. He's going to give you the blue tear stone, and he's going to teleport back to Firelink. We're going to use a homeward bone because I'm lazy. So basically, like I said, Grey Rat, he's a thief. So he steals a bunch of cool stuff. And then throughout the game, you can send him off to plunder, and he'll find more cool stuff. And if you keep him alive, that is. Like, he has a whole separate storyline that I'm going to try to follow. I'm going to try to do all the storylines. I'm usually not great at doing that, but I'm going to look up walkthroughs just so I can show you guys what to do. So, if you talk to him, you don't do a whole lot. He's just whatever. You can sell stuff and buy stuff. So he sells some pretty nifty stuff at the beginning of the game. A bandit's knife. And as you can see, it has a critical of 110. Most weapons will only have 100 critical. If it has anything different, like 110, that means it'll do more backstab and more riposte damage. We have Bastard Sword, we have the Mace, the Spear, Light Crossbow, Buckler. Now, you can see that little X in the corner. That means that we don't have enough stats to use it in somewheres. So if you look down at the attribute requirements, we need 13 dex. As a knight, we only start out with 12. Now the Buckler, very, very low physical absorption and just other absorptions all around. Not a lot of stability, but what it is a parry shield. Which basically means I'm using a medium shield. It has a lot of good defenses, and it parries like that. It's kind of slow, but if you buy something like the Buckler, the parry timing is a lot different, and it's a lot like more of a I guess, more of a broader range. Like, you don't have to be as good with the buckler as you do with the medium shield. Like, the parry window, I guess, is better with the buckler than it would be with something like the kite shield. And these are small shields, which have a little bit better... Actually, this isn't a small shield, sorry. This is a small shield. But, yeah, you get the idea. There's different parry timings for different types of shields. So these are basic shields, small shields. You know, there's different stuff. You can buy the standard armor. I don't remember if one of the starting classes starts out with that, but I think one of them does. And you can buy the edgy thief mask if you want. Whatever. 400 souls. And this is what we want here. Standard bolts. We're going to buy a bunch of those, just because. You can buy throwing knives, blooded moss clumps. Those are sort of useful, sort of not. Basically, if you eat one of these and you have some bleed buildup, like if you're getting hit by this bandit knife here, you can see it says additional effects, and there's 30 next to that little red spot. That means it does 30 bleed. So once your bleed meter fills all the way up, you get bled, and you take like a bunch of damage, and then the counter resets. So basically, if your bleed meter is building up, you munch on one of these, and then it goes away. You can buy embers, throwing knives, firebombs, and rope firebombs. Now, rope firebombs are funky. Firebombs you just throw. If it hits something, it does damage. Rope firebombs, you basically just drop them behind you. I'll buy one here in a second to show you what I'm talking about. Just a little snack, just to buy one. Okay. Bye, Grey Rat. So we got 4 firebombs, and we got 1 rope. So, you got a firebomb, throw it, explodes when it hits the wall. Rope firebombs, you drop them behind you and they explode. So if like somebody's chasing you, you can drop them and they'll like explode at their feet and it hurts them. Blah, blah, blah. So now, we have some crossbow bolts. So it's in my left hand. So you hit your left bumper, you load it, and you can hold it, and you can walk around like this, and then you let it go whenever you want to shoot it. You gotta load it again. Don't forget to reload it every time. So that's just something if you want to like start a battle with a little cheeky crossbow bolt. So you can hold it, and then if you like roll, it'll cancel it out. Basic stuff like that. So we have an Estus shard that we got from the same room that we got the cell key. So once again, we're gonna bring it to our friend Andre here. Reinforce our Estus. Allot it. Make sure you've got them all the way you want, because you can change how many you want. You can have all of them in the magic Estus, or you can have all of them in the healing Estus, or you can split them up, half and half if you're like a mage or something. But for me, I'm going to put them all into healing, just because I'm a knight. We're not going to be using magic. Not right away, at least. I think maybe later on I'll dabble into a little bit of stuff like that, just because this character's for, teaching purposes. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go to the High Wall Lothric. Because we got that shortcut unlocked that leads us to the first boss, which means basically we're just going to have to go to the first bonfire instead of the second one and running all the way there, because we unlocked a shortcut. A lot of levels will have shortcuts like this, which is very convenient, very nice. So yaddy-daddy-da, loading screen, loading screen. So, if you followed all these steps up to this point, you're going to have a pretty easy time. So we killed the Swordmaster from the very beginning, so we have him as a summon for the boss if you choose to use him. So I'll get into that a little bit more once we get there. So yeah, like I said, if you followed all the steps, you'll have a raw +2 weapon by the first boss, which is very useful. You'll have 2 rings by the boss, which is very nice. You'll have 6 Estus. So remember, kill him. We can just one-shot stuff now. Oh, we got a few more bolts. That's very nice. Trying not to aggro that dog. Oh, and I did. Basically, let it bounce off your shield and eat it up. They're easy, unless you're not blocking, because then they'll just kind of, swarm you, and they're just really annoying to kill. But if you know what you're doing, you'll be fine. Same with this guy. He's slow as anything, but he hits like a truck. Oh, wow. Okay, another amazing drop. So we just got his Great Axe. So as you can see, this weapon needs 32 strength to use. we can't even use this thing two-handed. Because if you have like half the stats, or a little bit more than half the stats if you two-handed, I think you'll be able to wield this. So like if I had 18 strength, because this thing needs 32, yeah. So if I had 18 strength, I'd be able to use this thing only two-handed though. This is another good weapon. It's kind of slow and it only has like overhead chops, so it's really not my kind of weapon, but some people are pretty good with that kind of weapon, but I'm not. But that's just lucky that we got that. That's kind of cool to see that you can get some like, you know, way better weapons like that later on. So now we're going to go back down the elevator. We're going to kill this guy. Kill all his friends. Just so they don't chase us, because that's pretty annoying when they do. You don't want to get down here and have all them following you behind you. Walk past him. Smack him. Dead. Smack him. Dead. Free soul. Okay, so this here is an NPC. This is Lion Knight Albert. We are going to summon him. Just because we're going to kill all these knights. We're going to do our guard break again. Just so we can get free riposte on him, because he's going to turtle a lot. We're going to back up. We're going to backstab him. That's not going to happen every time, obviously, but we're going to throw a firebomb just to get rid of that guy. Ow. Oh, I whiffed the parry again. Once again, get away from him when he does the weapon art thing, because that's going to hurt you a lot. Lion art, he'll do a lot of damage, because he has the big axe that we just picked up a minute ago. So we're going to use him basically to kill these guys if you're too scared, but I mean, you're going to have to do stuff on your own eventually, so. This guy, though, I wouldn't recommend trying to fight him on your first time, if this is your first time playing, because look, even Lion Knight Albert's not doing a lot of damage to this guy. This is a blue Lothric Knight, and they do far more damage, as you can see. A lot more damage, which is not fun. As you can see, that was like one hit. But he drops a refined gem guaranteed. As you can see, I didn't even pick it up. It just instantly goes to your character. He dropped another knight crossbow. That's kind of cool. Just a random drop. So wow, we've already used 3 Estus before the boss. That's fine though. Because if need be, you can go back up the elevator. You can, you know, rest again. Whatever. I'm just playing kind of sloppy right now just to try to show you guys some different things. Speed on these guys. Roll away if you're low stamina. I just heard Lionheart tried to parry something. I don't know what he was trying to do, but... Oh, we got a free Estus back, so that's good. Up here's a free weapon, the Lucerne. Very nice weapon for, like... Really, you could use this thing all through the game. Only needs 15 strength and 13 dex. It's a polearm weapon, so it's got a lot more range on it. It's got the spin to win. Bunch of fancy stuff. Very, very good. So basically, now that we've gotten rid of all the knights, we're going to go this way. Just because I don't want to run all the way back here. So when we go in here, Lion Knight's going to kind of glitch out, and he's going to get sent home. If you really think you need Lionheart for the boss fight, I mean, just go resummon him. Just go sit back at the bonfire. Now, I kill this lady because when you kill her, you get the small Lothric banner, the Basin of Vows, and the Way of Blue. Yeah, there goes Lion Knight Albert. That's fine. So basically, you need those 3 items. You don't need all 3 of them. You need the Basin of Vows, because if you put it up to that statue over there, that's going to trigger a boss. And that is a late game boss that you do not want to fight at this level. You really do not want to fight that boss right now. Trust me. So basically, we also got the small Lothric banner, which we need after we kill the boss. We also got... Where is it? The Way of the Blue. Way of the Blue, pledge oneself to the Way of the Blue Covenant. So if you pop that on, then you're going to get summoned as a blue phantom to help other players. So I wouldn't recommend doing that right away, just because, you know, you don't want to get into PvP this early. Unless you do. And if you do, all power to you. PvP is my favorite thing about this game, so... If you really want to try it, go right on ahead. It's interesting. You'll help the host. You'll be a blue phantom. So, if you killed the Swordmaster at the beginning, which I know is a tough task to do, he's pretty hard to kill, you can summon him now, if you kill him. He'll help you a bit with this boss, so we're going to wait for him to get summoned. We're actually going to take off the firebombs, we don't need those. Got our knight crossbow. So now that he's summoned, we can go in here, and this is the first boss. So this big weird door over here is going to be what leads us to the next area. Just walk up to it, and the cutscene's happening. I'm going to let the cutscenes play out, so I'll shut up for a second. So this is Vort. He is what I consider the first actual boss. So now we can shoot him with a few crossbow bolts. Not going to do a lot, but I mean, hey, we'll hit him a little bit before he gets to us. Vort may look intimidating, but he's really not. Just stay behind him, smack him in his butt. Just try to stay behind him best you can. He'll try to hit you. Just roll when you see him start to, like, raise his hand or something, like... Okay, so he's focused. Yeah, see how he grabbed his mace? That's when you want to roll behind him. So, like, just stay on his butt. If he ever does that, try to get behind him. We already got him in second phase because we're doing so much damage. Now he goes into charge mode. Right before he hits you, just roll towards him. Roll towards him. Now he's going to charge up his ice beam. Just run behind him. He's going to be stuck in this animation. Just hit him a whole bunch of times. This is why you want all that stamina at the beginning. Look, he's already dead. We accidentally got hit by the ice beam a little bit, which is fine. We're going to run up, kill him. Dead. Easy. Absolutely easy. Bonfire's going to pop up here. We're going to light this up. And now the reason I did what I did earlier and killed that old lady and got Lionheart sent home is because if you accidentally rest here, which a lot of people do because they're like, oh, I just beat a boss, want to get my health, my durability, my Estus back, all those enemies are going to come back and you can't summon these NPCs again. So you want to use Lionheart to get through those nights, kill the lady, get all the items, so you don't have to do it again. So now you can rest here, no problem. And now, the reason we needed this small Lothric banner is because when you get out here, you can't get down to the undead settlement unless you raise the banner. So basically, these guys are imps from Dark Souls 1. You never get to fight them in this game, which is kind of funny. But they carry you down to the undead settlement here. And this is our next area. So that's the entire first area of Dark Souls. Took an hour and a half to do. Actually, wait, it took 2 hours. Over 2 hours to do the first area. And that's just because we went and got all the items. Normally, like, when I make a new character, I just try to do it as quickly as I can. I just run through it in like a half hour and just whatever, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, light up this bonfire. Bada boom, bada bing. So basically, like I said, if you followed all the steps, you'll have a raw +2 weapon. You'll have your set of armor, you know, any other cool things that you might have picked up along the way. Your 2 rings. You'll have 6 Estus, and you'll be good to go. So I'm actually going to cut it here for now. I'm going to go take a break, get something to drink. Because it's been over 2 hours we've been doing this. But I'm going to come back in just a few minutes after I get a drink, go to the washroom and everything. And then we're going to tackle the undead settlement and get ready for the second part. So I'll be right back.